me ve venir de lejos. A Cupido lo maté como a 2 leguas. Allí dándole crema sin pena a la nena.
Alright guys, so I think the last time I talked to you guys, I was at the restaurant where we ran out of chips. I'm sure they have more chips, they just never brought us more. Anyway, I'm here in Milwaukee again because obviously I gotta go visit my dad, but first I gotta go to my sister's. So yeah, I'll see you around. There's Lulu. Hi. What's up, girl? Here's Lulu. Lulu the chicken. What's up? No, don't eat that. That's not food. So this is my sister's recreational area over here. What do you think? Should I show them what it was before? You guys want to see what it was before? This whole area here? Here's a little clip.
Javier Torres can't even walk outside his Southside home without being attacked by fleas.
Just going to the car, you get fleas on you. And it's really embarrassing to, go to work and find a flea on you.
The problem is this house next door to Torres. After months of complaints, it's finally been condemned by the city.
This is a really sad story. This is apparently a person who has lost control of her ability to manage the building, and what we see here is just sort of the end chapter.
Martin Collins with the Department of Neighborhood Services says inside the house, inspectors found living cats, dead cats, human feces, and fleas everywhere. The fleas are also all around the condemned house.
We just spent $200 to have the house fumigated. We spent a lot more than that on bombs.
But fleas are only half the story. The smell that comes from the house is unbelievable. Which is worse, the fleas or the smell?
It depends on the day.
Javier says he's been complaining to the city and finally contacted Fox 6, hoping to have something done about the house.
Fleas coming from a filthy home. They took over a Southside Milwaukee neighborhood. Now the fleas should be history. People had to evacuate the area for 5 hours due to all the spraying and the cleanup. And as 12 News' DeMarco Morgan tells us what one woman would rather see done to the house.
It's terrible, the fleas. That's the most terrible thing.
Marilyn Torres says she's had enough with fleas taking over her neighborhood. The problem? This house, which is next door to where Torres lives with her 3 small children.
My big concern is the house. I want that house turned down.
City workers are blaming the homeowner for having a filthy place and no plumbing. The fleas were breeding off dead cats left inside the home and spread to more than a dozen yards.
It's just nasty first because I have to live near a house that smells awful.
An awful smell and flea infestation that city workers were out trying to get rid of Monday morning. They used industrial-strength pesticides near the area of 13th and Orchard. People living in the area had to evacuate for the spraying of pesticides. Torres hopes this solves the problem so her boys can play outside again.
I had a playground and they cannot go outside to play.
The family headed out to Chuck E. Cheese until they were allowed to return to their homes. DeMarco Morgan, WISN 12 News.
It was the same thing with the smell. It was awful, awful, awful.
Filth so high, tiny bugs moved into this house and bit up the neighborhood.
Bulldozer is closing the chapter on the story.
Finally, the flea house falls.
First on Fox.
The bulldozer is closing the chapter on the story.
Looks like the flea nightmare is finally over. The once flea-infested house on 13th Street was torn down this morning. That's a sigh of relief to those who live by.
Finally, I think I'm going to have a good summer this year.
Last summer, we talked to neighbors of the house. By then, the fleas had spread out to about a dozen nearby homes.
Is that a bite on you? Did it bite on your stomach?
It bites all over, on his legs, everywhere.
And it's no wonder. Take a look at the inside of the house they came from. There was garbage everywhere, buckets of human waste, and an unbelievable infestation of fleas. By the time the city got involved, The house was abandoned and there were dead cats inside.
The smell every summer, it was the same thing with the smell. It was awful, awful, awful.
The pictures don't do justice to the extent of the flea infestation inside the building.
The city has finally put an end to this nightmare.
I'm really glad that the neighbors don't have to put up with this anymore. I know I wouldn't have wanted to live next to that.
Neighbors can finally stop scratching and sniffing.
I'm happy because now I'm hoping that the smell, we're not going to have the smell anymore, and we're not going to have the fleas anymore.
City officials say the woman who once lived here is nowhere to be found, but they're hoping she comes forward maybe to pay some back taxes. But if that doesn't happen, city officials say they will take over the property. For now, the plan is to get rid of what's left of the house. They're planning on planting some grass, and hopefully by then, the smell, the lingering smell, will be gone.
Guys, so it's actually been about 2 weeks since that last clip. That was actually Father's Day weekend. But anyway, yeah, that house, it was an interesting time. They did say it was my house, my sister's house was my house on the news. No, I was living with them at the point because my brother-in-law was in Afghanistan, so I was helping out. I actually called Fox News, and then once the story broke, a bunch of other ones came out. So yeah, eventually, you know, as you saw in the video, they demolished the house, and then for years the city kept it. That was back in 2007, by the way, when it was demolished. It wasn't until a couple of years ago that they allowed my brother-in-law to buy the property. So he did, and now it's our hangout spot, you know. But it's weird to look at it now and the good memories that we have of it now, and then remember what it used to be. Because honestly, back in the day, just about every summer, like, this wasn't something that just happened that year. For years, just about every summer, there was this horrible stench just coming out of that house, and never knew what happened to her. Hopefully she's doing better. Hopefully she's still alive and doing better, and because you saw the pictures, that was no way to live. I've had a couple of times where I've dealt with people with hoarding issues like that, and it's sad. It is really sad, and it's in a way what really inspires me to try and be more minimalistic, because it gets bad when you hold on to everything, you know. And in the end, it's all just crap. It's all stuff. So anyway, surely you've noticed that I haven't been making videos, and that is because where I work now, we moved to a different building, and this building, even though it's on if there was no traffic, it's about 15 minutes away from the previous building. But that little bit of traffic, it's horrible because it's getting closer to Chicago, and that little bit of extra traffic just kills me every morning and every afternoon. Like, it just makes everything so stressful. Driving is not something that I like doing. On that situation, you put me on a country road at night driving, and I absolutely love it, you know, just when I can just put cruise control and just go. But when it's like stop and go, stop and go, stop and go, I feel so trapped. So when I come home, I just want to relax and watch some TV and eventually go to sleep so that I can do it all over again the next day. So that's why I haven't been uploading. So I don't want to keep telling you guys that I'm going to be uploading Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because obviously I cannot do it. But I do want to continue making videos and then upload those whenever I actually have something done. That is all I have for you guys today. This video ended up being a lot longer than it should have. But I hope you guys are all doing well. I am doing great. Oh yeah, I forgot. Do follow me on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you're missing out a lot on what I'm doing, because I don't know if you know, but Instagram now has Instagram TV, where it's trying to kind of compete with YouTube. I've been trying to post almost daily videos over there, and they're like short couple of minute videos of me just talking or showing you whatever. Yeah, if you ever want to see more of me for whatever reason, Instagram TV is definitely the place to go. So if you just follow me at Real Stuff HD on Instagram, then you'll find those videos there. Okay, I've talked way too long now. Y'all take care. I'm out of here. Bye.